Good morning, most amazing artists. Today we are making a sunset with a bison. So we'll start by getting some yellow paint on our brush. And you can go the thick way or you can go the thin way. It's a good time to practice both. But what you want to do is you want to do the thick one all the way across. Dip, wipe, drag your paint across. Right now I'm just putting yellow for the horizon line. If you want to have more grass, you can put it at the bottom. If you want to have more sun and sunset, you can put this here. Going back and forth with yellow. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Getting lots of nice yellow on the paper. Then we're going to get some pink. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap where I'm going to make orange, because if you mix this pink magenta with yellow, what do you get? Orange. So I'm going to start with the pink. Dip your brush like it's a ballerina. You don't want to soak it, just dip it. We've got all this nice pink. Add some more pink to the top. Pink. And then we're going to work on blending. So blending is when you take two colors, like yellow and pink, and you go back and forth with them, gently mixing them until they blend so that it can go from pink to orange to yellow. And you can see that it gets more orange yellow as it gets into the yellow, and more pink orange as it gets into the pink. I'm going to be right between the two, and then I'm going to continue blending back and forth very gently until the pink and the yellow blend to make a nice orange. I'm going to get some more pink for this side, and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until I get just the right amount of blending. If you have time to do it really well, take the time to get some extra yellow, and where the line is harsh. So here, there's like a harsh line between the orange and the yellow. I'm going to grab some yellow, which is the lighter color of the two, and blend, 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 starting at the bottom and then working my way up. I try to get all the way to the ends of the lines and then blend, blend, blend. If you notice that you get a lot of orange into your yellow and you wanted to add just yellow, you can get another brush and go over that with just the yellow. So I grabbed another brush to blend with just yellow. I'm going to grab the yellow with the clean brush so that I don't have that orange or pink, and bring it over. So if you want to add more yellow, you need to make sure your brush is either washed off with some water and dried, or that you've gotten a new brush. So I just got a new brush, and then I'll wash it in a little bit, picking up the yellow and coming down. If you get a little bit of orange, it's fine. All right, if you have enough time after this step, you can add some blue to the top, and blue and pink make purple. So here's some blue across the top. Really pretty, nice, like deep blue where maybe it's the sunset and now the night blue sky is coming in. And watch how the lighter color pink is really gonna blend to make a purple. And I'll go back and forth until I get that purple pink. Back and forth, back and forth. If it's still too dark, just grab some more pink and go over the lines between the pink. So this one has maybe a little bit too much blue on it. So I'm gonna wipe off some blue and pick up just pink, and then try to blend it in to make a nice purple night sky with this pink. it, blend it. I have to be careful not to mix too much purple with the orange because it will make a brown or a black. The blue mixed with yellow is going to make a too dirty of a color. So I want to wipe the brush off and then get some more pink. And then go between the two with the pink and blend. The blue is such a strong color, you don't really need a lot of that. And we're just going to blend, blend, blend. Get some more pink and go between those colors to blend it really nicely. Get some more pink and just work on really making a nice transition between the colors so there's no harsh lines. It's just a nice, very subtle line. Getting a little bit too much blue in this one, so I might just switch back to this brush and just pick up the pink without having any blue. Of course, it made a little bit of that dark color that I don't want, but I'm just trying to cover it up with the pink and blend it nicely. All right, once you're happy with your sunset and you have a little bit of extra time, you can use a sponge brush to remove some water. So I'm going to make a sun. So I want to have a white sun, so I'm getting the sponge wet. Pick out where I want my sun, and then I'm going to twist, 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 and remove a circle of paint so that I can have a nice resemblance of a sun. You can squeeze it out and then remove some more color. I don't want to twist it too much because I don't want to tear the paper. So I'm just going to do that, maybe a little bit of a twist, just to get some sun. You also, if you have time, you can make a little bit of clouds by removing a little bit of the, if I go like this, I can kind of make the impression of clouds with some pink, maybe up here a little bit. Clouds get bigger the closer you go to the top of the page. So just going, messing it up a little bit, going back and forth, I can add a little bit of clouds. It's okay if it has some of that yellow. If you have time, it's fun to make clouds, but it's not something that you have to do. There's a purple one, the horizon. These would be small, maybe a little bit purple underneath this cloud. And I'm just gonna let those brushes soak. You could dab these with some paper towel if you want it to come up a little bit, so maybe you dab it like this, remove some of that paint, make it kind of white. That's another way to make the clouds if you would like to and you have the time. Just dabbing it a little bit can help make some nice little clouds. Next step is we are going to make the black silhouette of the ground and the bison. So we've got some black paint. This will be the next day. We'll put the black with the sponge paint. If you want to make a straight prairie, you can just go across with the black. It doesn't have to be super neat because it's the ground and we're going to be adding grass anyways. But this black silhouette of a ground could have some structure, like maybe have a little rock or a hill that goes up. This is optional. Also, if there's a part that you didn't like, you could cover this with the ground. So like maybe if I don't like that cloud, I could come up and cover it with ground. But I don't want to have too much ground, too much black, so I'm just going to do about this much. And just covering it as quick as I can. The sponge brushes are pretty quick for covering ground. And you can kind of go, at this point you can go any which way because you don't know if it's grass, if it's rock, if it's earth. And we're just working on covering it all to make it not have any white spots. And then you can brush it like a brush. You can go this way, spread it out. The next step is to put the bison. So the best thing is when you do this the next time and the sky is dry. So the sky is not completely dry, but I'm going to put the bison here over that cloud. And I'm going to get some of the black paint and I'm going to sponge paint the bison. So it works best when the paper and the sun have time to dry, but it's okay if it doesn't, because we can do all the steps in one day too if we have enough time. Getting some more black. Be careful not to drip the black on any of the pretty sun that you have. So I'm going to go around, make sure I get all the spots that are yellow. Sponge brushes are really good for doing this dabbing to make a silhouette. Keep going, going, going. And then I'm going to carefully peel it off. Hopefully it didn't take off much of my sunset. And then I'm using a fan brush to make the grass. So see how the bison is floating? We don't want that. So we want to make sure to bring the ground up to the bison's feet, wherever they are. And then we're going to take the fan brush. The fan brush can just get a little tiny bit of paint, and it can go up this way, or you can turn it this way and go every which way like that. So I actually like that way better. This way might be a little bit easier and a little bit less grass, and it might be a good thing to start with. You can go the whole way. Maybe you have some patches where there isn't grass. And then we can try going this way too, where you go up, where it's not going this way, but going in the thin motion. And go every which way, crisscross it. Go a little bit this way, go a little bit that way. You can come down from the bottom to add some texture in this part too if you want. And if you want to have more black, you'll come up with the black line. If you want to have less black and more sunset, think about how much you want, because you can do it anyway. Put the grass around his legs, but not so much that you lose his form. So I just want to have a little bit. Maybe he's going to be munching on that grass. You can come up in front of your son if you want. Just be careful not to overdo it. And once you get to a point where you really are happy with it, you can stop. If you've covered your name, then make sure you rewrite your name up at the top with a Sharpie or something that makes it visible. And voila, there's your bison sunset.